Hello everyone. Good morning to all. Welcome back in class 9 in video session Economics People as Resource lesson 2nd part 2nd. We will learn about why is education so important for you. What does it to you to do make you asset for your nations? Education unlocks doors and opportunity for you and allows you to have good life. Education inculcate good values to make you a better person. Education allows you to find good employment so that you can contribute to the national income. Education prepares you to become a responsible citizen and contribute to the country's good government. India's national education policy recognizes the importance of education in tackling the problems and the requirement to the person growth. Now, let us look at some steps taken by our government to educate people in India. The national expenditures on education proved just 151 crore rupees in the first 5 years of plan 1951 to 43,825 crore rupees in the 10th plan of 2002. From 1951 to 2002, the expenditures of education growth from just 0.64% to 3.98% about gross domestic products. The government is in the process have established Navodaya Vidyalayas in every district of the country to provide universal access to education to all children with special offices on goals. The central government have also launched the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan in partnership of the states and local governments. This is the time-bound initiative to provide free compulsory elementary education to all children between 6 and 14 years near age by 2010. The 10th 5-year plan for 2002-2007 focus on increasing we have normal of students by 18 to 23 years of age in higher education. The 10th plan also aimed to combine formal, informal and distance education to provide better access to better education to students in all parts of the country. The government aims to provide vocational trainings even to high school students. However, many well-paid schools skill to provide higher education in colleges after school. The number of universities and colleges and higher studies have grown in number in 1951. Still, these are not enough to accommodate all the aspired students in the country. The chart here shows the rise number of scholar students and teachers in India between 1951 and 1999. Clearly, the number of teachers has not increased in proportion with the large increased number of students. The state education in our country is measured by literacy rate. Let us see the literacy rate of India. The chart here shows the change in the literacy rate in India from 1951 to 2001. You can see the literacy rate is continuously on the rise. You can also see the literacy rate it is higher to the male population than to the female population. This is mainly due to the tradition of less emphasis on education of girls. Fortunately, these trends appear to be changed. People in urban area are more literate than people in rural area. Among the states, literacy rate raised from 96% in some districts from Kerala to under 30% in parts of Bihar and Jharkhand. After education and training, let us move on to our health. Why is staying healthy is important for you? Good health allows you to fight illness and perform to your full potential. Good health allows you to work more efficiently and being asset for the organization you work for beside careers, opportunities and growth. Good health is important for overall well-being as well individual. Our national health policy aims to make healthcare and welfare programs more accessible to people and provide them with nutrition guidance with special focus on pro-assess of the society. There has been tremendous increase Number of healthcare institution in society in India in past few decades. Health sub centers, primary health centers, health community health centers, creating to the rural populations have grown in a large number. A good indicators of increase of health facilities is the number of hospital beds available in India. Indian doctors are around the world over for their expertise. The pool of trained doctors and nursing staff has also increased in India, though there is still more requirement such people. How do you judge the health population? The health of a population is indicated by parameter it's like life expectancy, infant mortality rate, and birth and death rate. Better healthcare facilities increase the average life expectancy in India to 65 years by year 2000. Infant mortality rate is the number of deaths of children under 1 year age per 1000 live birth. Child and family care programs reduce the infant mortality rate in India 147 in 1951 to 75 by the year 2000. Birth rate is the number of babies born per thousand people in given time. With increasing awareness with their family plannings, the birth rate in India came down to 26.1 by the year 2000. Death rate is the number of death per thousand people in given time. With better healthcare, the death rate in India decreased to 8.7 by the year 2000. Like education, healthcare facilities are also not uniformly distributed in India. For example, while the state of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra have 81 out of the 181 medical colleges in India, the densely populated state Bihar and Uttar Pradesh have very few. We often hear about the problems, unemployments and unemployments people who exactly qualify as being unemployment. There is look at some people to understand the definition of unemployment. Meet the Kumar family. Let us see what each person in this family does and decide whether he or she employed or not. Mr. Kumar's father is a retired senior citizen. He no longer goes to work, but he is not considered unemployed as his age about of 59. Mr. Kumar's daughter still in school. She cannot be considered unemployed as she is less than 15 years of age. Mr. Kumar goes out to work in work office and get paid for it. He is suddenly employed. Mrs. Kumar prefers to look after her family. She willingly does not go out to work to earn thus. She also cannot be considered unemployed. Mr. Kumar's son is 20 years old. He is willing to work but has not job as yet. He belongs to category unemployment people. Unemployment exists when a person 15 to 59 years of age who is willing to work at acceptable wages cannot find a job. Such a person is called employed person. The form of unemployed is different rural and urban areas. In villages, people usually face seasonal unemployment or disguised unemployment. On the other hand, in large towns and cities, people often face educated and unemployment. Seasonal unemployment occurs when people cannot find work for a few months in a year. Seasonal unemployment mostly faced by farm laborers in rural areas. These people have lots of work during the sowing and harvesting seasons. However, there is a little or no more work in between. Thus, Farm laborers are seasonally unemployed. Disguised unemployment occurs when people appear to be employed but do not increase the productivity at their place in their work. To understand disguised unemployment, let us visit Ramdin, a farmer who works in his field. Ramdin's wife and his three sons also work in his field. Ramdin's field is so small, it requires the labor only three people, but actually five people are employed on it. The work of two extra persons does not increase the productivity for the field. Thus, two people in Ramdin's family face disguised unemployment. They just appear to be unemployment. Disguised unemployment is easier to bear because each person has to be shared in his products. However, this sharing does not improve the condition of the family. Eventually, people facing disguised unemployment have to find other work whether they can actually be productive. The unemployment faced by people who are matriculars, graduate and postgraduate is called educated unemployment. Studies suggest that there are more unemployment graduates and postgraduates than unemployed matriculars. The manpower situation in India shows a conflicting pictures. While there is a growing demand for technically qualified to boost economic growth, you also see many technically qualified people due and unemployed. Unemployment is a cause of many social evils. It wastes special human resources, making people hopeless, victim depression, and a liable to the nation. Unemployment creates what is called an economic overload. This is the situation there is small percentage for the employed population support a large percentage of the unemployment people. An unemployed person cannot provide healthy nutrition food to his family. This leads to decline in the health of the people and overall deterioration the quality of life. In some cases, parents have to unwilling to withdraw to their children for school where they can't afford their education due to unemployment. High rates of unemployment indicate sick sluggish economy. Thus, unemployment not only affects individual but has a negative impact on the overall incoming economic of the nation. At 7.2%, the, the unemployment rate of India is comparatively low in the world. However, many people in India do not care their opportunity to work at their full potential earn the income they deserve. You already know that economic activities are divided into primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. Let us see which activity in this sector employ the largest number of people. In the primary sector, agriculture employs the largest number of people. In recent year, surplus labor engaged in agriculture has started moving to the secondary and tertiary sector for employment. In the secondary sector, small scale manufacture units include the largest number of people. There is no clear winner in the tertiary sector. However, this sector has opened new avenues like biotechnology and information technology to generate the large number of jobs for people.